it's Jess, your Pinay beekeeper. It is first week of April and spring just started and I want to show you around. This is my big bed. Ito yung ginawa ko last year, spring last year when I started making it. I got the stones. Actually, I did not buy them. I got them from the creek just in front of our property. So I gathered the stones from there and put them here. And look at them now. I love them. They look so natural. Um, so this is still on the process. I'm still on the process of completing this big bed. Those are daylilies. Binigay yan sa akin ng kapitbahay namin. Um, this is one of the few lavender bushes that survived this past winter. I planted them last year. So maybe they will start to bloom this year. They said it takes 2 to 3 years for lavenders to bloom. Okay. Daylilies and roses and lavenders. So there are, um, I planted, I think, over 40 lavenders in this bed, and only 17 of them survived. And I like lavenders kasi hindi sila kinakain ng deer. This past winter, um, the deer actually starting fall, they ate the daylilies, and then late winter they were starting to sprout, and the deer also ate them. So deer love to eat plants, especially during winter time when there's no food for them around, and so they would go to yards of the properties here at kakain nila kung anong pwedeng kainin. They even ate that rose bush and the rest too. That's a new plant that I planted recently. Binigay din ng kapitbahay ko. Okay. So that's the big bed. This is a round bed that I also um, made last year. The stones, the landscaping stones, were actually given to me by my sweet neighbor who lives right there in that house. She saw me working here and she was not using these, so punta siya dito. And she told me that she's willing to give it to me if I want them. So I said yes. And now here they are. Um, I planted some daffodils here, some irises, hazelnut yung nasa pinakagitna. And then those are, I forgot what they're called. Um, it's a type of daffodil. My neighbor would remember. I forgot. Mabango siya. Sobrang bango ng bulaklak niya. And then I planted several seeds here of um, it's not dahlia. It's a dahlia looking. Shame on me, I forgot what they're called. But anyway, I had some of them here last year, and I liked them. I liked how they look, so I planted them again, and they're actually starting to sprout now. Well, some of them are. You can barely see it. Oh, here I see one. Okay, that one is sprouting. All right, so that's the round bed, and those are the natural uh, daffodils that grow there. They their blooming season is done. They usually bloom before spring, like late winter. That's my husband weed eating right there. Okay, this part, this is one of my favorite spot here on our yard. Napaka-relaxing ng ambience. I love this. We use that swing a lot with my grandkids. And I love this spot here kasi napaka-soft ng soil at very rich din. And I learned that there was a tree that died here. And so um, nung namatay na yung puno at na decay na, it made the soil really rich. And so the plants that I planted here really grew so good. Um, Nakalimutan kung anong tawag dito pero para sa kanila dito ano lang to, damo. Pero I really love it. Look at that bloom. Ito yung first bloom. Ang ganda niya. Tapos maraming pollen din that bees love. I love the color. That's one of my favorite colors. Tapos isa pa sa mga kapitbahay ko dito. Ang dami kong kapitbahay na supplier. Binibigyan nila ako ng mga bulaklak. I got these from her last year. Actually, ito yung part na nakuha ko last year. And during summer, late summer or fall, they bloom like small sunflowers and they really look so pretty and they stay so long. Sobrang ganda niyang tingnan pag nag-bloom na siya. Even right now, they look so good. The green um, leaves, they just look so good. Um, Gusto ko rin to. I don't know what this is, but I really love it. Napaka-linis niyang tingnan and very lush. Look at that. I also got this from one of my neighbors because it looked so good when I saw it from her yard, and so I got some, and now they look so good. This is one of the daffodils that I planted here. Look, napakataba. It actually bloomed one. I planted this last year, and it had a bloom this year, and my one of my grandsons removed the flower and gave it to his mom. So sweet. Okay, that's one of my favorite spots. All right, so it's our garage right there. Okay, now I'm gonna show you the bed that's wrapping around the house. Well, not totally around the house. It's just the south part and then this front part and the north part. The back portion is not totally filled with flowers. I did not make a bed there. But I made this bed last year and I reserved this for my some of my lavender plants because this part is gravelly and so lavenders love um, gravelly part gravelly soil kasi dito sa Alabama clayish yung type ng soil so kailangan mong i-modify yung soil para mag-thrive yung lavender and then I put some compost in there some of the scraps that's um, from our leftover food and this year the soil really looks so good already and the bushes started to the weeds started to grow na rin. So I started cleaning that part last week and had to stop because of some other stuff that I need to do. But I have to finish this, cleaning this sometime this week. And then they'll be ready for my lavender plants. I just seed started some lavender seeds and they have already sprouted and they're inside our house right now. Okay, so this is the front part of the house. That's um, we bought that from the agriculture office sale last year. I forgot what it's called, but anyway, one of Jamie's friends, my husband's best friend, asked us if we want to buy some trees or flowers, and that's one of the. Actually, we got two of them, one here and one on the other side of the house, on the other end of the house. Okay, that is also a plant that I got from one of my neighbors. I don't know what it's called, but I love it. It looks pretty. We bought one of the We bought that plant from a flower shop last year. And here's another lavender that survived. I have very few lavenders na nag-survive that I planted around the house. Um, I don't know. It could be the uh, well, I just started it, so I'm still studying it. I'm still learning, and um, it may be that I need to improve the soil quality more that's suited for lavenders. But I'm glad that that one survived. That one is a hydrangea. That's another one of those green plants like that. Um, I wish my husband is here because he knows all the names of these plants. Oh, ang ganda ng bloom nito. So pretty. Okay. Some daffodils. Tapos na silang nag-bloom, so they just look green now. It's a rose bush. Okay, so same type of plant, um, like dun sa kabila. So, yan, another hydrangea bush. Ito, gumamela to. Tawag natin sa Pinas. I forgot what they call it here. Another rose bush. This one is really good looking. Okay, another lavender. Ito ay gardenia. I really love how they smell. I hope this one will survive. It looks like it will because my green part dito sa ano niya, sa puno niya. So, um, maybe it will survive. Ito hydrangea din to, the different variety. I think it's blue. The bloom is blue. Another lavender plant and one of those pine trees. Okay, this part here, the north side of the house, ano nga bang tawag dito? Anyhow, tanungin ko mamaya yung asawa ko. Ano ba yan? Hindi ko alam yung pangalan ng mga plants, but I just wanted to show them. So we're here in our backyard now. There's not much here. Um, I planted some climbing roses there. It looks like they are gonna do good here. Yan, hindi masyado makita pero another rose bush. And there are some here. This is the back portion of our house. Yan lang. I'm reserving that spot there for some more plants that one of Jamie's cousins are gonna give me. They're actually like these plants too. Um, so I'm gonna plant them there. Um, so this is the back portion of our yard. Um, I have two beds there that I already planted recently. May isa dito na kailangan ko pang linisin at taniman. I will prepare this bed here for lavenders also. That's another lavender bed. I really want to have a lavender garden. That's why I have um, um, I have a lot of lavender beds, and the bees love them. I'm gonna tell you more about my bees later. But this is another bed. This is the first bed that my husband actually made for me. First is herb bed yan siya, but I changed my mind. I removed the mints that I planted there and some other plants. Maliit lang siya. I'm planning on putting the lavenders that I seed started there kapag kailangan ko na silang i-harden. They need to stay outside. So I'm planning on putting them there kasi medyo shady yung part na to kapag noontime and So that's gonna be perfect for them. Um, I'm so happy because this is actually a formerly a garbage pile, and I got tired of looking at it. And one day, I removed all of the garbage and made a bed. And now it's my lavender bed. Maybe some of them will bloom this year. Like that one that looks big already. Um, so this is the bed that I'm gonna be cleaning. Um, there are some plants here on the end that they call this scopadine. It's a mixture of scopadine and muscadine. They're like the grapes of the south. Uh, oh, those fruits are so good. They taste so good, and they're so good for canning, like making jelly and um, jam. So I got some seeds from one of our neighbors again and planted them here. But I'm gonna be moving them to that spot. We will put that arc. There are two of them there, and they will they will be like a dome there, and these plants are gonna climb on top of them. So that's my plan for that spot right there. We're waiting to fix the foundation of those poles, so we're gonna work on that soon. Um, oh, meron pala akong banana plant dito. One of my neighbors also gave this to me, and they're now sprouting. I don't know, maybe mamamatayan uli sila. They only survive from springtime to fall. Kapag ka mas sobrang lamig na ng panahon, they die. But they will always come back the next year. Next week, meron kaming sobrang baba na temperature dito, probably around 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Probably 3 to 6 degrees Celsius. So they will probably die again, but they'll come back once na medyo mainit na yung panahon. This is my blueberry bush starting to flower. Um, so this is the second bed, um, and I have um, some plants that I recently planted here. I have some monkey grass on the corners. Um, our neighbor called this baby's breath. Their type of baby's breath here. Kasi iba yung baby's breath natin sa Pinas. It looked different. And then I also planted some seeds here, like that one is sprouting now. I forgot what it's called again, but I'll show it on the screen. Um, and then some more flowers. You can barely see it because the weeds are growing, but um, in between, so there are some seeds and flowers I planted in the middle, and then on both sides I'm going to be planting lavenders here too. So that's a lavender bed once that's cleaned up. This is also going to be partly lavender bread, lavender bed. Gutom na ba ako? um, and then this is my third bed here sa likod ng bahay namin. I recently planted some sunflower seeds here, and they are now sprouting. Look at them. Ang bloom nila ay hindi yung natural yellow sunflower. They will look, um, they have autumn colors, so maroon, a little bit yellowish also, um, brownish, maroonish, and they look so good. I planted some of them last year, so I'm excited for this. Dito sa part na to, I planted some wild flowers. They call it golden rods. The bees love them too. Bees also love sunflowers, but um, they they don't. Sunflowers are not perennial, so they don't come back every year. So you have to plant them every springtime. But these plants here, goldenrods, they always come back. So that will be a goldenrod bed there. And hopefully dadami sila kasi ang ganda din nilang tingnan. People here in Alabama, they think na it's just weed, damo lang, pero I mean, bees love them. All right, so that's it. I'm gonna be planting some more here. Well, depends on if I will have extra uh, lavender plants. I'm gonna be making. There are still spaces here kung saan pwede ko silang itanim. But anyhow, those are the plants. Now we'll move on to my bees or my beehives. So originally I only have one beehive back in 2022. Um, June of 2022, my neighbor gifted me a beehive at dito niya nilagay yung first hive ko. Um, Regretfully, I lost them last year, winter last year sa sobrang lamig. They all died. And I didn't have other beehives that time. So for a while, I naging zero yung hive ko, back to zero. But spring last year, one of our neighbors contacted us kasi may swarm sa isa sa mga puno sa yard niya. So we got that swarm and we put it here. So and that colony was so good that I was able to split it after like about 1.5 months. So from this hive, I split it into two. So yun yung second hive ko. And then back in the fall, the the son of the person who gave me my first hive contacted me asking me to take over and uh, take care of his dad's beehives because his dad passed on. And so he gave me one of the hives there and I moved it here. That's my third hive. And medyo napabayaan sila. Um, so when I got them, they were not so healthy, and regretfully, they lost their queen this past winter. So I've been trying to move frames there from that hive, from my second hive, frames with brood or baby bees, um, so that they can try to make queen cells or and eventually have a new queen, but so far it's been unsuccessful. Thankfully, the last week or 2 weeks ago, I saw a very good looking queen cell, and it seems like it's gonna emerge soon. She probably emerged already. I checked it yesterday. The queen cell is still capped, so I'm gonna try to open that today and see if they already have a queen. But anyhow, yesterday also, while I was checking my second hive, I did um, vertical split, which will help prevent swarming. And in the process, they created a new queen. So I got the new queen from the top box that they formed, and I moved her in this hive. And I moved some frames from that hive that has brood, that has bread. Bread, by saying bread, I mean pollen, all the bee foods. And then I put them here. I also put some empty frames on the outer wall. I mean, sa dulo, magkabilang dulo. So I'm gonna check that today and see how the queen is doing. But there's still one more queen cell there that was capped yesterday. So i-check ko din yun to see if she already emerged. If she did, I'm gonna have another hive. Or I'll see if that third hive has successfully, um, if the queen has emerged and if she's good. If it's not, then I'm gonna get the new queen from that top box and introduce her to this hive here. Um, And that's about it for today. This is, I'm gonna do another tour once everything is blooming. There are some bushes around, that are about to bloom. They call them hedge bushes, and oh, how I love them. They smell so good. They have white blooms. They really look so pretty, and I'm gonna give another tour that time. So this is my original hive, and I did a vertical split recently on this one for swarm prevention and also good honey production. And I moved some frames from the bottom box to the top box that's filled with brood and some bee food. I also put some empty frames, and that brood right there is looking so good. That frame has newly drawn comb, and they are already filled with nectar. It looks so good. I want to show you a close-up one. Now that's a good looking frame. I just love seeing freshly drawn comb. It looks so good. I don't know if you can see the nectar inside those combs, but they look so good. Ang ganda. Ang part na to, meron ng laman na nectar. Yan yung itsura kapag bago yung frame. Frame na nalagyan ng beeswax. At bago din yung honeycomb. Golden honeycomb. Ang ganda. Ang ganda din sa kabila. Wow. Napaka ganda ng genetics ng colony na to. Napakakalmado nila. Generally, pag na-aggravate or naka-feel ng threat yung bees, magiging aggressive talaga sila. Pero may mga colony na sobrang kalmado. Depende sa genetics nila. Ito, hindi ako for sure kung ano yung genetics nito, pero base sa reaction nila kapag nag-check ako na sobrang kalmado, I think Italian bees ito. Wow, ang ganda. There's just something about newly drawn combs. Ang gandang tingnan. So refreshing. Daming nectar dyan. Same. Kakatuwa naman. Wow. Just wow. Nectar dito. Dito din. So kapag bago pa lang yung nectar, yung water content ay mataas, the bees um, will actually fan it and wait bago nila tabunan or i-cap yung cell. They will wait until the nectar's water level is down. I think it's below 20. The good water content that is good for selling, and when the water content is low, the honey can stay longer, and if the water content is high, then there's a tendency of the honey to ferment. There are actually some sour honey, not because of their food source, but because it fermented. So yun yung ayaw mong mangyari. That's why when you harvest honey, you make sure that you remove the frames that are capped or yung natabunan na, because it means that the water content is already good enough for storage, good enough na hindi mag ferment yung honey. Oh, I love it. I think they will try to adapt the color kasi yung medyo bright colored na frame, they also drawn um, bright colored combs. Tapos ito medyo darker, medyo brownish, light brown. And then they've also drawn um, darker colored honeycomb. It's so interesting. Oh, I love it. I'm just so happy with this hive. And the good thing is I just got this hive for free. Just from a tree from my neighbor's yard. Alright, this one is a little bit heavy. So that means mas marami ang nectar content. Look at that. This is an old honey frame. And so the combs are dark, really dark. And this I reuse this from last year's harvest. And since it's already drawn, it's pre-drawn kumbaga, they they will usually use it first. And that's what happened. This frame is already 80% filled with nectar. Wow. So they're looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and put the frames back, and I'm gonna check the bottom box, the brood box there. I want to show you this frame because it is so beautiful. It has a very nicely drawn comb, and it also has a very good looking pollen um, pollen filled combs. Look at that. Just how pretty is that? I love it. That's bee food right there. A lot of bee food. And on the other side is some cells with um, pollen, but mostly nectar. That is a food frame right there. And the queen is in this frame. So usually I don't um, remove the frame where the queen is. I usually just leave it on the other side of the box when I check my hive. That way I'm sure that she's there and I won't accidentally kill her, because she's very precious and it takes a lot of effort to replace a queen, at least for me, for now, because I'm still learning. I really don't want to buy new queen. I mean, from other um, hives, especially if they're not local. As much as possible, I want to raise my own queen by splitting the hive or putting new frames with newly laid eggs, where the bees can make queen cells. That's also bee food right there, and a lot of nectar. This frame is heavy now, really heavy. Same on the other side. That's a lot of bees right there. Hundreds of them. That is a good looking frame. Let me check the last frame here. Really, I don't want to remove the last one. Yeah, I can see that they're still trying to build a comb there, so I'm not going to touch it. I'll just go ahead and move the rest of these frames close to that side. It's a little bit heavy to push it because of the um this sticky thing that they're making. I forgot what it's called. Funny me. Oop, all right. So this is a frame that's full of cap brood. Some of them have emerged already. Most of them are about to. Same on the other side. Um, the bottom part from here to the bottom are mostly female bees, and then these on the top part are gonna be drone or male bees. You can tell because their cells are bigger, and it usually takes longer for them to emerge than the regular worker bees. The wind is really blowing. There's a storm coming tonight, and tomorrow is Sunday. I'm not gonna have time to check them, so I have tried my best to check all the hives today. Okay, this one here is also a brood frame. Some of them are capped, probably 50%, not really, maybe 70%. And then the rest are not capped yet. You can see the white larvae inside the cells. I'm making sure they don't have queen cells. I actually saw some. That means they're trying to make a new queen and maybe swarm soon. So that's why I'm doing the swarm prevention method by moving some of the frames from the bottom to the top box. Okay, this frame has newly laid eggs there. They're probably more than 3 days because they're already forming a C. They're already curved. Usually, when a bee egg is just newly laid, it looks like a rice grain, a very tiny rice grain, but they look like a letter C already. So they're more than 3 years old. I mean, did I say 3 years? 3 days, rather. All right, move a little bit, squeeze. There you go. Okay. This is another brood frame and also pollen. Brood and pollen. This is a very good looking frame right there. I like it when there's a lot of pollen around the brood because that will give the newly emerged bees instant access to food when they come out. It's like, welcome Earth. I mean, welcome to the world. Here's your food. All right, now I'm gonna push these frames Oops. Wow, that wind is really blowing. Okay. I'm gonna wait for one more week and then I will open this hive again and I will move some of the frames with brood on the top box and put some frames here that are empty so the queen can lay more eggs. That's gonna be my second Demari for this hive. You can do the Demari method or swarm prevention method 2 to 3 times until their swarming tendency is over. And that probably takes like 4 to 6 weeks. And after that time, I'm gonna have a lot of bees. This colony will grow big that they will have a lot of foragers. All right, that's it. I'll go ahead and close it now.